Which angel is more powerful, Lucifer or Michael? When God first created them, both Michael and Lucifer were given great power and were on equal footing. In the beginning, there was no clear difference between them in nature or power. Each angel was capable of receiving full power from God, according to the purpose he intended. However, the difference began to appear when Lucifer separated himself from the source of divine power through pride and a will to surpass the Creator. At that time, the power he once had was no longer maintained, because it did not belong to him, but came from God. Meanwhile, Michael always remained faithful, and God continued to give him superior power. When Michael defeated and expelled Lucifer from heaven, the victory was not due to his own power, but because of the power of God working through him. Lucifer can only fight with his natural strength, which is now separated from the ultimate source of power. Michael, on the other hand, is given divine authority to destroy rebellion and restore heavenly order. In reality, the ultimate source of power does not belong to any angel, demon, or human, but comes entirely from God. All power in the universe is but a small reflection of him. Michael, Lucifer, or any other angel are merely instruments chosen by God to carry out his will at any given moment. It is God's divine power, manifested through his Son, that produces all miracles and acts in the realms of light and darkness. All created beings, be they Michael, Lucifer, Gabriel, or anyone else, are overwhelmed by that infinite glory and are completely dependent on God for their existence. None of them can hold power or honor beyond him on their own. All glory, all splendor belongs to God alone, the supreme being, the source of all creation and eternal truth. Every angel was created with a specific purpose predetermined by God. In the book of Revelation, Jesus told John that the number of angels is 10,000 times 10,000, a huge number that shows the limitlessness of his creation. Each angel possesses power only within the limits that God allows. They can be promoted or demoted, given power for sacred tasks or for certain periods. However, if they exceed their role and authority, they can be stripped of their status and imprisoned in the abyss of darkness. The Bible mentions the Watcher angels, who fell because of their lust for the daughters of men, as recorded in 2 Peter 2-4. The Bible also makes clear about Michael and Lucifer. In Jude 9, Michael is called the Archangel, the head and commander of many other angels. While the Bible does not explicitly state whether the rank of Archangel is equal to that of the cherub who overshadowed Lucifer before his fall, Revelation 12-7 and Daniel 10:13 clearly show that Michael is a warrior in the heavenly realm, leading the heavenly host in their battle against Satan and the rebellious angels. Lucifer is a covering angel, created by God with a position and glory that surpasses all the angels. According to Isaiah 14:12 and Ezekiel 28-14, God himself created all the angels, including Michael and Lucifer. In the beginning, Lucifer was called Son of the Morning, bringer of light, symbolizing purity, splendor, and wisdom given by God. He was given the noble responsibility of leading the angels in heaven and protecting the throne of God's glory. With his wings covering the throne, Lucifer was considered the shielding cherub, the divine guardian of divine light and glory. The name Lucifer may not be a personal name, but a title describing his radiant nature, who is called Morning Star or Morning Light. Though he possesses the purest light, he is still part of God's creative plan and exists only in the power that God allows. Lucifer's radiance was once a testament to the beauty and power of heaven, before pride drove him away from that ultimate light. In the book of Revelation, we see 4 overshadowing cherubs present around the throne of God, who are placed in the most exalted position in the heavenly order. They stand beside the ultimate light, covering and glorifying his glory. Among them, Lucifer was once considered one of the most radiant and powerful cherubs. He was created with profound wisdom and unparalleled beauty. The Bible describes that under his feet diamonds and emeralds were formed, metaphors for the splendor and perfection that God has given. If God willed, even these gems could become visible under his power. Lucifer was once called perfect in all his ways, until unrighteousness crept into his soul. It was from that moment that the pure light that God had given him began to be obscured by pride and ambition. God said that Lucifer walked on the Mount of God, a symbol of the divine and powerful position he once held. However, it was his departure from humility and faithfulness that caused him to fall from grace. In Isaiah 14:12-14, the Bible recounts the tragic fall of Lucifer, once called the Son of the Morning. He fell from heaven, being brought down to earth after corrupting the nations. In his heart, he harbored the rebellious thought, "I will ascend to heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mountain of the congregation, on the farthest slopes of the north. I will ascend above the clouds and be like the Most High." These words clearly show the pride and ambition of comparing himself to God, which no angel can achieve. Lucifer was originally a great prince among the angels, who was given authority over many other angels and played a key role in the heavenly realm. However, the perfection and power that God gave him became the cause of his pride and wanted to surpass the Creator. The moment he chose to exalt himself above God, the light that he once carried turned into darkness. This act was not only a rebellion, but also a declaration of separating himself from the source of eternal glory. From then on, Lucifer was cast out of the heavenly realm. The rebellion in the heavenly realm began when many angels were attracted by the place where they contained greater power. Under Lucifer, some angels were given the opportunity to choose either to leave their positions to remain loyal or to stay and accompany him. Those who chose to stay decided to side with Lucifer instead of God. However, God did not immediately punish or intervene. He remained silent, allowing Lucifer to expand his power and attract more rebellious angels. But God is eternal, beyond the limits of time and death. He was not threatened, nor was he swayed by Lucifer's arrogance. Instead of responding with force, he let things unfold in the most just way, allowing each angel to be tested and revealed for what they truly were. God's patience is a testament to his infinite wisdom and absolute control. When the appointed time came, God acted. He allowed every angel the opportunity to witness and choose between light and darkness, between faithfulness and rebellion. When every heart had been revealed, he judged justly. Lucifer and his followers were brought down, and the faithful angels were strengthened in glory. God thus demonstrated that his justice is never hasty, but always perfect and infallible. Just as the last angels had made their decision, loyalty and love for God or rebellion, God did as he had always intended. He empowered and commissioned Michael, another angel prince, to be his champion, and commanded him to take his angels and cast Lucifer and his angels out of heaven and down to earth. Michael and his angels did so. The Bible tells us that Michael's angels outnumbered Lucifer's angels 2-1. Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Luke 10:18 and Revelation 12-3, then another sign appeared in heaven, a great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on his heads. 4, his tail swept a third of the stars out of heaven and threw them to the earth. The dragon is Satan, and the stars he swept from heaven are the rebellious angels. His head, crown, and horns reflect that he has dominion over many nations, people, and systems on earth. These systems are false religions and also political systems such as fascism, socialism, and extreme nationalism. In addition to organized crime, racism, including the so-called anti-racist agenda, which somehow demonizes one race, and anti-Semitism to a few, anything that is against the gospel of God's Christ, things we see on earth every day that try to destroy civilization and human character. Now, God can do anything to the rebellious angels at any time. His power is limitless. His waiting is confidence and a sign of power, not weakness. He was never vulnerable. It was calculated. He wanted angels and men who loved him, not those who were just hanging around to be on the winning side. He chose to use Michael and the faithful angels to act against the rebels as a reward for enduring the uncertainty of the testing times. A third of the angels were banished from heaven after the rebellion and imprisoned in the mortal realm. Lucifer, who had been called the bearer of light, was then renamed Satan, meaning adversary and accuser. The new name reflected his fallen nature and his deceptive purpose in creation. Satan's power was now no longer light or grace, but the power of lies, manipulation, and temptation. Yet God's faithful angels stood firm, fighting not with their own strength, but with the authority and power of the Almighty. A common misconception is that Satan and the fallen angels rule over hell, but the Bible affirms the opposite. It is Jesus who holds authority over heaven, earth, and hell. Satan is only called the prince of this world because he deceived Adam, causing him to rebel against God. Through his deception, he usurped the leadership position that Adam had been given, temporarily turning the world into a sphere of darkness. However, his power is temporary and limited to the limits that God allows. When Jesus conquered death and was resurrected, he took back the dominion that Satan had usurped, claiming all authority in heaven and on earth as his own. In the end, Satan will not be able to escape judgment, and his kingdom of lies will be completely destroyed by the light of eternal truth. What is happening in the world today is essentially a continuation of the war that once raged in heaven. Satan, in his deceitful nature, continues to deceive people into believing that God has left the world or even never existed. When people reject God, they unwittingly open the way for Satan to gain influence over their souls. However, God does not use force to force or demonstrate his power, but he demonstrates his sovereignty through his infinite love and mercy. Those who sincerely seek God will find him with his Son, Jesus Christ, the rightful heir of all creation in heaven and on earth. People have a choice: either walk in his light or leave and face the darkness on their own. A day of judgment will come, like the day when the rebellion in heaven was ended. At that time, all souls will be judged according to God's absolute justice. No force, no matter how powerful, can oppose the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit united in one being. All power, all judgment, and all authority in heaven, earth, and the underworld were given by God the Father to his Son more than 2,000 years ago, after he came to earth, died on the cross, and was resurrected in glory. Through this action, Jesus not only restored the covenant between God and humanity, but also proved that his love is above all power, the light that leads all creatures back to truth and eternal life. When Michael confronts Lucifer in the present, the result will be unchangeable. When empowered by God, Michael will easily crush his opponent, because his power is unmatched. Lucifer, since rejecting the Creator, lost access to that power and exists only within the limits of his corrupted nature. Jesus is the Archangel Michael, and he defeated Lucifer in heaven and on earth. So guys, that's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Love you.